All right, we are back with another episode of About Crypto, and I have one of my friends here, Maren Altman, and she's an astrologer and entrepreneur, and she's also one of my neighbors, which I found out the other day. So, hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you on this Saturday?
Oh, living the dream through the
Yeah.
pandemic and New York in general. So,
Feel that.
yeah. So, my first question for you is like, how did you get involved in crypto?
So basically, as soon as I started realizing that I needed to learn financial literacy, like right after graduating college, being like, okay, now it's really like in my hands and whatnot, or undergrad at least. I realized I really was very interested in finance, and I'd never had exposure to it, so I wouldn't have been able to know that otherwise. But as soon as I entered learning about personal finance, quickly it went from learning about like you should have an IRA and put it in index funds and the basics, and I'm like, this is boring. Like there has to be something more than this. Like that's safe, all right. I read like the Common Sense book of investing or whatever to get me there. And pretty soon after, I was reading and looking at what's the opposite of the stable, steady index fund path. And that's the volatility of crypto. So as soon as I got into it and then started learning the solution to larger problems that it solves, and it's in a relation not just in terms of return on investments or seeing something that can grow at a much faster pace, but actually providing solutions in a societal sense, it was just a no brainer for me as something that pretty recently, just in the grand scheme of things over the past few months, I realized I had a big interest in for many, many reasons.
That's super cool. And do you see
Yeah.
crypto going kind of mainstream anytime soon?
I do see huge financial changes astrologically, specifically 2022 to 3. In the United States, I mean, it looks like massive. I think that we're already leading up to it, given the events of like the Fed propping up the market so much, and that's not representative of anything in the actual economy, and just the amount of like likely going to be things like more MMT and help to like it, we can just see that there is some steps leading to there needing to be massive changes, where I see maybe things like digital wallets or really widespread nation digital currencies 2022-3, because if I'm seeing a massive upheaval like death rebirth of the US financial system, that is going to be representative of more than just the US. So I have my eyes on 2022 to 3 as well, because Bitcoin's astrology is absolutely insane in 2022. I mean, like off the charts great in a lot of ways. So multiple things coinciding uncoincidentally at the same time looks like it could take off. I mean, I don't find a lot of the more extreme bullish predictions that extreme seeing what I'm seeing.
That's really good to hear. And you
Yeah.
have people like Pantera Capital calling for 100K plus Bitcoin, and then like Tyler Winklevoss saying 350K. So it's like
Yeah,
pretty wild.
I think I saw someone at Citibank said 500K, and that kind of made me a little bit like, okay, I feel like you just want a headline, but 100 to 200 would not have me surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I'm excited, and everyone else is excited. But
Yeah.
do you think crypto education should be taught in like college?
I think honestly, financial education in general should be taught, because even friends that I have that are were studying business and whatnot, like they're in the same boat as I was. Like they were learning about the same things that even I took a few, like when I was at NYU, I took a few management courses through Stern just so I knew if I was going to be managing my own companies, I wanted to have some sort of leadership awareness. And none of those covered anything about like I don't know, like normal, I don't want to say loopholes, but how to manage the tax code and your own personal ways that you can decide to allocate your portfolio. Like nothing was taught. And so I think that first off, like financial education should be more emphasized, but crypto definitely as no longer needing to be considered as some sort of back alley underground. Like it's just another asset class in some ways. 100% should be taught. And I think that the first people to get on that will be like thought leaders and have a huge impact and own a lot in the education sphere if someone can capitalize on that.
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me of yourself. You're teaching this in such a way where it kind of grasps people. It's educational and it's entertainment, and your branding so on point. So I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I say a lot that a lot of what I'm interested or what I have to say isn't different than a lot of other, I don't know, astrology history nerds or people interested in finance. Like we're looking at the same things. It's just that I also happen to be covered in tattoos and wearing only black, white, and red and have red neon lights all over my room. So like it grasps people that might not otherwise be drawn into these fields.
Yeah. And do you think kind of brands will be the leading way to push crypto forward, like yourself?
I think that they will get people interested who might not otherwise be interested, and therefore even further democratize finance in the way that crypto allows for people who otherwise might be at a disadvantage to enter into the market to get in and have success. And I think that with now a lot of marketing and a lot of branding being like influencer based, that those two things have very similar they have a lot of resonance in their respective fields. Like now it's not traditional marketing, it's leveraging authentic interest in an influencer. And similarly, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies speak to an authentic way to get involved in something that otherwise was off limits to a lot of people that would try to have returns on their investments.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
completely agree. So thanks again for coming on. And where can people find you?
They can find me, Maren Altman, on all platforms. My website is marenaltman.com. There's no social media that is not just my name. So anywhere I am, you can find me. Find me on that.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. And thanks for everybody for listening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. Bye bye.